Well, hello, my stamping friends. It's Diane Evans with stampingwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator that lives here in the interior of British Columbia. So if this is one of your first times joining me, I really welcome you. I really do appreciate when you do join. I also, if you're on my YouTube and you're watching this on a replay, just be mindful that I have this is a live content. So basically, I may be commenting back and forth and answering questions as we go, but that's all part of a live. And I do appreciate you coming and watching. So today is card sketch number 95. Oh my goodness. Now, we have gone a little bit simpler today, and you're going to see that you can actually create from a card sketch. I want you to see a little bit further than what you can actually go. Sometimes card sketches, people feel that they have to go right by the guidelines. And by all means, if that's how you want to do it, go by those guidelines, by the different measurements and everything else. This one is actually quite a bit like last week's card sketch, but it's different in the way that I want you to look a little bit further than just those lines and guidelines and everything else in a card sketch. So, and we had some issues with my printer, so we are going to see my rough sketch of the card sketch, and it'll be posted later on as soon as I get everything all sorted with the printer and the computer. But hey, isn't that what life is all about? It has all to do with the computer. So I was going to use one other stamp set today, and then I thought, nope, we're going to go to Flowering Rain Boots because I've got some spring cards that I've got to get done. So let's actually just pop on down to my desktop here. And this is the Flowering Rain Boots. Now, it's a fantastic bundle. Remember, when you do buy as a bundle, that you do save 10%. But I love the dies that go along with it. And I've been playing and mixing this up with an awful lot of different dies on there. So we're also going to be using this stamp set, which is from the J2J mini catalog. And it's a Celebrating You. And there's so many different type things that you can say in here, and I really like this Happy Easter one. So I need to make an Easter card. More of a serious type Easter card. This could be Happy Spring, and I couldn't find, and if somebody can help me out, maybe I would look for I know, Marilyn, computer problems are a real nuisance, let me tell you, but that's okay. I know what the issue is, and I have to wait for it to come pop back up because I don't know where to look to fix it. Anyways, so I'm going to use the Happy Easter stamp that's in here. And then also, I want to show you the versatility of this stamp set. This is the Oceanfront Stamp Set. Now, a lot of people feel that this has to be used with oceanfront, with that sort of type thing. So I'm going to show you actually today how we can do something with this Oceanfront stamp set. And we're going to mix it up with these stamp sets. There's so many different things that you can turn around and you can do that's so different, right? So, but in any event, yeah, so let's get started. Now, I will show you this card sketch. I will be posting the measurements and everything a little bit later, and it might look a little tiny bit different than this. This is a regular card base. It has one layer, and the one layer is, and I'm just going to put this up here, and I'll just bring in my cardstock that I've got. I am doing this particular card with Calypso Coral. It's 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And that's our regular card base. So I'm just going to come in there with my bone folder. And then we are also, I decided to do layering with it. And I really like this pale papaya with this, this Coastal Cabana. So we're going to go ahead and use that as well. It was a very interesting morning, I must say. I'd been on the computer. I'd been conversing with somebody tech-wise back east, and she's a wonderful person. She is a Stampin' Up demonstrator from the UK that's moved to the United States, and she was helping me with something that I'm having issues with, which, trust me, it's quite often. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen. with this. And of course, we have our Memories More class this afternoon. Okay, so I have this. Then I also thought, well, okay, should I use very basic white on here? I don't like how I haven't got that down. So let me just, here we go. And you know what? I forgot to get, of course I did. I forgot to get my inside part of the card. I might be able to, well, we'll see. Anyways, this is the layer, and it's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And this is the layer that we're going to be doing a lot of the different stuff with. And I also have a piece that I'm going to be doing some cutting with. Now, like I say, I decided to use Berry Vanilla. And the reason being for that is I thought that it would look nicer on the Pale Papaya and the Coastal Cabana. So that's why we're going with that. So let's see. We are going to stamp. I'm going to stamp these rain boots, but I've decided to do the rain boots just a little bit different. It is paper piecing that we're going to use. And this is the back of your Peach Designer Series paper. So I have my rain boots in here, and I'm going to come in with my Coastal Cabana. And I think I'll just switch this straight down to my desktop for now. I have the Calypso Coral. I always call it Coastal Cabana. I get the two of them mixed up. And because this is photopolymer, let's go in and get our paper piercing mat. And we're just going to stamp those right on this piece of Designer Series paper. Like I say, we are paper piecing, but I'm going not really paper piecing. What I'm doing is I'm just stamping on Designer Series paper. Now, I know gumboots of all the different designs are really the style now is kind of what it is, but in some ways it's really not. But I have a pair of my gumboots that I use for gardening, and they're the most colorful. I love them. They're lots of fun to play with, but in any event. All right, so I have that piece done. So let me go ahead and stamp some of these other images that I need off here. So I'm going to stamp, I need these. I need my tulips. I just have these here. And how else am I going to do this? Okay, so my tulips are going to be done in Daffodil Delight. So let's just stamp those up. And of course, what I want to also do is I want to have different color in with my tulips. So I'm coming in with my Calypso Coral, Calypso Coral again. And I'm just taking a sponge dauber and I'm just going to color my different colors of tulip. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that there. This is going to give me some different multicolored tulips. All right. And then we also have, let's see, I think I'm going to do the stems in Mossy Meadow. I haven't used that color in a long, long time. And these are very distinctive stamps. So it's kind of neat the way that they actually stamp down onto your project, and it gives more of a depth with it. So let's just move those ones out of the way. And then I need some color for here. We're just going to put that there. Now I need to cut this out. Plus I also need to cut out my my boots. So we have dies for that. So I'm just going to bring in my little cut and emboss. You know, this cut and emboss is 20% off. So what a great time to buy your cut and emboss, right? Buy one for the lake, buy one for the trailer. This way you can craft while you're away, right? Right, so we have this, and I'll just come in and just quickly cut these out. We could have fussy cut these, but if you have a die, why not use it, right? Let me just come in with my Post-it note tape. You know, I'm not a very techie person, but I tell you, I'm learning more and more as we go along. All right, so we have our boots cut out. Don't they look cute when they're cut out like that? And you know what? I didn't cut that too straight, so I might even just trim that a bit. Now in here are, oh my goodness, where did that one go to? I just had it. All right, so I have these here, so I'm just going to go in. Cut those out. Get that shaking and moving and that done. And then let's quickly cut out our tulip stems and leaves, right? Just, I don't know what it is about these stems, but I really like how they look with the greens. They look really nice with the evening evergreen, but they also look amazing with this mossy meadow. Oh, I'm so glad that you Minnie arrived. It's so much fun to play with. Remember that the sandwiches are a little bit different with the mini, just a tiny bit, especially when it comes down to the embossing. But if you have problems putting this through with the one and the two plates, also use the light gray plate. It'll work as well, and it makes it not quite as tight. It's a different feel than the big cut and emboss, but once you get used to it, you're going to love it. Just going to love it. So let me just put these dies away before I lose them. All right, so we have this. We have our flowers done. We have our boots. Now we have this piece here. And this is the piece that I want to show you how you can actually go about and change up the look of what it's going to look like by using the Oceanfront Stamp Set. So we are going to use, let's see, should I use this one or should I use this one? I'm going to actually use this big one and this one down here. So I have this, and I'm going to use it with Pool Party is what I'm going to do. So like I say, I could do splashes, I could do water, I could color this with water and my blends or my stamp pad, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to actually take this like this, and let's go ahead and just put this down here. This stamp set, I hope, is carried over because it's so versatile. All right, we have this piece here, which is this piece. I'm going to go in with crumb cake on that particular one. And so it's just going to go, and I think I'm going to put it like this. And I'm just going to actually put this up a little bit onto the Pool Party. And see, this is kind of just giving a bit of a splash in the back. Now, I'm going to bring this the sketch back in so you can see what I'm kind of doing with it. This part here symbols this part. You can put a piece back there. We could have put something else back there. But this I have now going as that. So I'm just expanding, doing it just a tiny bit different. And see, then our boots can go here. And we can then put our flowers on there as well. But before I do that, what I want to do is I want to come in and I want to give it some splotches. I want to give it something that gives it a bit of character, gives it a little bit more of stuff. So I'm coming in with, and I don't know whether or not if I should use that or if I should use my crumb cake. So let's see if the crumb cake's going to work. So you've seen this. I'm sure you've seen this splatter technique. So I've taken this with my bigger marker here. And I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to splatter. It's not a lot. It's not that dark, but I will show you what it looks like close up. So it just takes that starkness off. You know what? You can do this with your Stampin' Blends as well. It's just, I'm just coming in with, this will be the soft suede just to make it look a little darker. So there we've got some splatters there, right? And then, like I say, you can do this with your Stampin' Blends, but please be careful. They're a more expensive marker. And by doing it, you could sometimes wreck the end of your marker. And it's best to use the brush end on there. So that's why I use the Stampin' Right markers, because it works a lot better for me. Okay, so these are going to go on here. Going to put this up here. Now, what I want to do is I want to stamp the sentiment on there before I actually attach the rest of this card. So I'm going to use, like I say, the Happy Easter, but I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow on this particular one. I think it probably will look the best in being, okay, let me just see how, if I've got that in the right spot. There we go. So I'm just going to come here, and you can see on here, this says the image. So I'm just going to go ahead and put Happy Easter right here. Now I could have raised that up. I could have left it, you know, where I could have raised it up, but I just wanted to just have it sort of sit in the back. All right, so now let's go ahead and start putting the card together. So I've got this. We'll go ahead and put that on. And we'll just put that. So like I say, that's our card sketch that we're doing. So I'm stretching the way that you look at a card sketch, right? All right, and then I think what I want to do is I want to have a bit more dimension behind these boots. So I'm just going to come in with my seal. And I'm just going to put that onto the back. And then I'm going to use this linen thread. I love this stuff. Putting it on there like that. I'll just cut that off. And then we can go ahead and use our dimensionals on here. And these dimensionals will kind of hold this on. Oh, I just got this new package. There we go. I want this to be really popped up, so I'll use 4. I know it might be a little bit of overkill. Now, there is this stickiness on the back because I used my seal. You notice I haven't taken the backs off of my dimensionals yet. So I'm just taking that, the stickiness of the seal off of there because I don't want the boots to collapse and dip down. That's what the reasoning is for that. We have a very quiet bunch this morning. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that right about there. And then I'm going to do something. I'm going to do a little bit of surgery on here. So I'm just going to come in and I just want to cut this leaf. And I'm going to actually put that up and I'm going to double dimensionalize that. Good word, eh? And just take that off. And that is just going to go behind there. Whoops, I probably should have had. And I'm going to also do some surgery on here too. I'm thinking to myself, these boots should have come down just a tad. There we go. So I'll just bring that down. And then these are going to go here, and they're going to be double dimensionalized as well. I could have used the mini dimensionals on here, probably. I might have to trim some of these away. No, you'll be okay. You won't see them. Oops. This you will see, though. Let me just cut that off. There we go. Put another one underneath here. There we go. All right, so let's put these tulips up here. So, and then this one is going to go, my goodness, I'm actually going to put that down so that it's layered right onto the card. So I'm just, this is just going to add a bit of dimension on here. So I'm just going to put that in there like that. And then this is also going to go on the same way. Yeah, you know, the minis, how do you do without it, right? Like I say, I know campers that are putting it in their trailers. I know I've got one in Winnipeg. I haven't had reason to take one and put one in Montreal yet, but it will be going there. I can guarantee it. All right, and then of course we've got to come down and we've got to put our little pebbles on there. These are not available as we speak, but they will be available. They figure by about, you know what, I think I'm going to use the gray ones. They're supposed to be available by the 14th of March. So I'll kind of put a little shout out when they're available. But yeah, they're not available as we speak right now. We got one there, and let's put another one right up and about there. So there's our card. I kind of hope that you like that. It was fun to make. You know, oh, I'm going to do something right on the bottom here. It's double dimensionalized, but I want this to fit onto the boot. So I'm just going in and putting a bit of that. I'm coming in and just taking some of that blue off. And now I can stick that right down onto that boot there. So I'll just hold that down for a second. But anyways, okay. Just going to switch over here and okay, so that's the card sketch for today. Card sketch number 95. Oh my goodness. Like I say, an easy one. I will be posting this onto my page and onto my groups. And I'm hoping that it'll be, you'll be able to see it. Now, another thing is make sure that you post it with hashtag card sketch number 95. And then you could, you may have the opportunity to win a stamp set. I do one draw for the mystery and I do one draw for the sketch challenge. So what's happening from now until next week? Basically, sip and stamp tonight. So if you want to stamp with somebody tonight, join us. It's just, we joined by Zoom. There'll be a notice coming up in one of the groups on there. And all we do is we just craft, we chit chat, we do whatever. And then basically, I see that there's a private conversation going on and I have no idea who's doing this because of where you've joined me from. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. sip and stamp. And on Monday, I'll be back. And you know what? I better reach out and find out what we're doing on Monday. Anyways, you guys have a great day. And remember to craft. It's great for the soul. So bye for now.